What is a day in the life of a EuCo like?
So as an EuCo, I need to make sure that I have the most up-to-date information about the management ECRIN trials that are running in Portugal. And during 2020, we had Portuguese partners involved in 6 multinational clinical trials involving different teams from Portugal, and the studies were in different phases. So ones are started and the others are ending. Although each ECRIN trial has a coordinating EuCo that is the person who had the big picture and of the trial as a whole and is the direct contact with the sponsor, the participating EuCos also have an important role in assisting the coordinating EuCo and facilitating and support the participation of the national CTUs and the national institutions in the trial. So we have regular meetings with all the ECRIN partners involved in each trial, and this is also foster the multinational collaboration. As an EuCo, I'm also the key contact point in Portugal for ECRIN, so I'm responsible to establish the link between all the national sponsors and researchers, investigators, that wish to develop European multinational clinical trials to ECRIN or its partners. In 2020, in addition to provide the normal support to the Portuguese teams that participate in H2020 applications, I had the chance to support an H2020 project application with 2 clinical trials led by a Portuguese institution, so the Universidade de Coimbra. Unfortunately, the application was not approved for funding, but in the second phase, but it was a great experience for me as an EuCo.
How has ECRIN benefited Portugal?
So Portugal is one of the founding members of ECRIN since 2014 and has benefited a lot from its membership to ECRIN, that is the national hub of ECRIN in Portugal. We developed the concept of clinical trial units in Portugal and also the national network of CTUs to support investigator-initiated clinical trials in Portugal. We started with 2 CTUs in 2014, and in 2020 we now have 5 CTUs, able to provide the service, the full service according with ECRIN quality standards. One of the CTUs, I believe, is already an ECRIN data certification. The participation in ECRIN also allows the development of harmonized procedures, the tools for multinational collaboration, and provide means to overcome the tremendous challenges that is the implementation and the conduction of investigator-initiated clinical trials require. All these contribute to boost the clinical research in Portugal and bring more multinational clinical trials to Portugal and internationalizing the Portuguese clinical research teams. This benefit was even more emphasized during the last year with the COVID-19 pandemic, since we were already integrated in a well-established research infrastructure like ECRIN, which a solid network capacity, we could quickly contribute to ECRIN COVID-19 task force and also integrate very early into some of the most important European H2020 project in response to the pandemic and the emergency situation like EU response project, and that allowed to the extension of the Discover clinical trial to Portugal. As part of the scope of EU response, we are currently initiating a participation of Portugal in another platform trial, that is the EU Solid Act.
What achievements are you proudest of since joining ECRIN, PITCRIN?
So one of the things that I'm most proud of was when ECRIN was formally integrated in the Portuguese roadmap of research infrastructures in April 2020. It was also important to ECRIN to underline that in the first maturity evaluation, we obtained overall classification of very high, based on the progress of the infrastructure and the national relevance and context.
Tell me about ECRIN and what is planned for the next few years.
So we would like to continue to develop the CTU network by supporting our CTUs to the application of our CTUs to the ECRIN data center certification. We also have for a few years the goal to get the first ECRIN supported multinational study with a Portuguese sponsor. So I can say now that we finally achieved this goal in 2021. So the project will start soon. Now we have a new goal that is to increase the number of studies as coordinating EuCo, as coordinating country, and continue to participate in ECRIN studies as participating country also, of course. So this is our plans for the future in Portugal.